Good morning again, everyone. This is video number 4 for today. I hope you'll watch all of them, especially the first three. The first three I really want shared. I want the world to hear the message in the first three. I decided to do a quick walk around of my garden since I haven't done that in a very long time. This is the garden up front by the road. Right there's the road. I've got 4 rose bushes in here and 2 chrysanthemums, which are covered with buds. I had another chrysanthemum right there, but it gave up the ghost this year. And this bed here, right between the roses and chrysanthemums and the outside wall of this raised bed, right in this area, I'm going to plant some cabbage. And in front of the chrysanthemums and roses, between the front wall of this raised bed and the bushes, I am going to plant radishes. Now y'all mosey over with me to another raised bed and I'll show you what I've done there. And look at my feet. See, I'm not wearing shorts today. I'm wearing jeans and I'm wearing boots. It's not because it's cold here. It's still very hot. I don't know what the temperature is. I'd guess in the mid to upper 90s, but I don't know. There are snakes out here, poisonous snakes. I almost picked one up yesterday, and I got bit by a copperhead less than a year ago out here. The one I almost picked up yesterday was another copperhead. I was picking up limbs and Spanish moss that Hurricane Beta had broken and strewn all over my property out here. And I've been over to pick a big clump of moss up, and laying right on top of it was a copperhead. And I didn't have my glasses on. I was way far out back near the back property line. And my fingers was about 3 inches from that copperhead, and that copperhead had its mouth open, ready to bite me. I saw it just in the nick of time, and it just about scared me to death. I'll tell you what, friends, when I saw that, my heart raced almost as hard as it raced less than a year ago when one of them actually bit me, and it was on the finger also. I'm okay today. I don't have venom in my body messing with my heart like it did last year for so long. I never went to the doctor last year. I don't go to the doctor unless it's an emergency, and a poisonous snake bite to me is not an emergency. I have the great physician, Jesus, who is the Christ, looking out for me, so I didn't go to the doctor. Here I've got some lantanas. I plant all kind of flowering bushes and shrubs out here to attract hummingbirds, butterflies, and honeybees. They are very welcome on my property. These I started from cuttings that I took from a friend's huge giant lantana bush about a year ago. It's just about a year ago, and look how big they've grown already. They were 4 or 5 inch long cuttings when I put them in my propagation tub and rooted them, and once they got about a foot tall, maybe 18 inches tall, then I moved them out here, and I've got about 20 of them scattered around on the property that I propagated about this time last year. I did the same thing with pomegranate trees and fig trees, and I have started a new orchard with them, and I'm going to do more this winter. I've bought the ingredients for my propagation tub so I can start over again. In this bed this spring I started off with corn, and I got enough corn out of that bed right there to last me a year. I got a lot of corn. I prayed for an abundant harvest of all my veggies, and God gave it to me. Within 1 month, my upright freezer was full of veggies. Right here, these 2 tall plants are jalapeno peppers. They're still producing, so I haven't pulled them up yet. Oh, and after the corn, then I planted squash, and I got an abundance of squash out of this bed. And after the squash was all gone, I planted peppers, and I had a little over half of this bed with peppers, and the other half's just been vacant all this time. But I've got two jalapenos here, and I've got two bell peppers over there. Right here, I've got a brand new cabbage I put out yesterday. Those are two red cabbages there. And then there's three more green cabbages, and these four plants right here are more green cabbage. Oh no, these are broccoli. These four are broccoli. And that right there is a volunteer squash, looks like. It just came up, so I'm leaving it to see what it is. And this bed here is a mess right now. I haven't done anything to it yet, but it's fixing to get totally redone and replanted. I've got this big habanero pepper plant, and that thing has produced hundreds of habaneros. I've made habanero jelly 2 times, and I've got enough in the freezer to make more habanero jelly. I love this stuff, but a little goes a long way. It's so hot. The instructions for making habanero jelly, it says to strain out the pulp and the seeds. Well, I do not strain out the pulp and the seeds. I leave them in, and that makes it very hot. But I like it that way. It's very tasty. I gave some to a friend who is Vietnamese lady, and she told me it's the best jelly she ever ate. She said, but it doesn't take much. That's another habanero plant right there. That's some cactus that I got from my family ranch up near San Antonio. I have plans to take all my cactus, and I've got all kind of different cactus, all of which came from the family ranch up near San Antonio, to make a big cactus bed in the front yard between the house and the road, between the house and that bed I just showed you with the roses and all. But I don't know when it's going to be. The rapture is liable to come before I get it done, but I want to get all the cactus gathered together in one big bed all by themselves. Right here, this trellis, I had cucumbers growing on it in spring, and I'm going to plant some more cucumbers here in the next 2 or 3 days. I got to get all those weeds out that came in. This is the only garden bed I've got that has weeds, and this is an old bed. My ex had stuff planted out here, and she didn't take care of it, so it's got weeds. And I've got to do something to fix it so I don't have weeds, because I don't have weeds in any of the others. Over on that edge there, along that end, I'm going to plant some onions. This big vacant space here, I'm going to plant some onions. And walk around to the other side. And I'm going to plant a different kind of onion in all of this big open space. Right there, I've got 6 tomato plants from the spring, and I'm going to cut them back in the next day or two and hope they will give me some tomatoes this autumn. They're still blooming, but they're not producing anything right now, but I think if I cut them back, they'll be okay. I've got 2 mortgage lifter tomatoes, I've got 2 beefsteak tomatoes, and I've got 2 Phoenix tomatoes. I had never eaten Phoenix tomatoes before, but they were my favorite out of these 6 plants. Got 2 rosemary bushes right there. And right here is some new tomatoes, 4 tomatoes. I've got 2 Heat Wave tomatoes and 2 Heat Master tomatoes. Now let's mosey over here to my last garden bed. And this is the biggest. I had black-eyed peas, purple shell peas, and watermelon in here. The watermelon vines were beautiful. They covered half of this bed and spilled out onto the ground. And they bloomed profusely. And they had probably 100 baby watermelons. But when the baby watermelons got to about 3/4 to 1 inch diameter, they would turn black and die, and I don't know why. I never could figure out what happened to them. So I'm not going to do any more watermelons for a while. But anyway, up front here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 cherry tomatoes. I don't remember what they are. The first 2 here is called Zen Zen, Z-E-N, and these are red cherries or red grapes or something. I can't remember. They produced abundantly, and I've already cut them back, hoping they will give me a second crop this autumn. Down here on the Texas Gulf Coast, it doesn't get cold here until usually mid to late January, so I'm hoping I'll have time to get more tomatoes. I've started reworking this bed where the peas and watermelon was. Right here where I've got the dark soil there is chicken manure I put in late yesterday. I've got some T-posts there, and I've got some more of the cattle panels or livestock panels. I'll plant a row, 12-foot long row, because this is a 14-foot bed. I've got tomatoes in the first 2 feet. I'll have 12-foot row of cucumbers, the trellis, and another 12-foot row of cucumbers. In the front of this bed, up by that board there, I'll have another row of cabbage. I'm going to make a lot of sauerkraut this winter. That's why I'm planting so much cabbage. And then in the middle, between the cabbage and the cucumbers, I'm going to plant beets. I did really good with beets last year, and I want a lot of beets this year. I love pickled beets. I've still got a lot that I home canned from last winter's crop, and I want some more for next year, providing I'm here, providing the rapture hadn't occurred yet. If the rapture occurs between now and harvest time next year, then somebody's going to have a lot of good veggies out here, providing God keeps it watered with rain and they don't all die after I'm gone. But anyway, that's it for now. My grapes are looking beautiful. These are my black grapes. I forgot what they're called. But I've got to build a new trellis for them. They need another 2 or 3 feet higher than these cattle panels that I gave them to run on. Here's one of the tags. Black Spanish grape. That's what these are. And over at the side toward the back, I've got some white grapes, and I don't remember what they are. But that's that for now. Back there behind the pallets over there, I've got my orchard of fig trees and pomegranate trees. And over on the other side of the yard in the back, I am going to do an orchard of plum and pear trees. And I'm going to get those started very, very soon, maybe within 2 or 3 weeks. That way, next spring, hopefully they'll be a couple of feet tall and I can transplant them into the new orchard I'll be building. Oh, and right there by that bird bath thing, and that's the best thing I could find to give the birds water and a place to bathe. Right there, those 2 pots is some ginger. A friend has ginger going crazy over at her house, and she gave me 5 starts, and it was just roots when I planted them about a month ago, and look at them already. I need to find a place, a permanent home, and get those in the ground. I love ginger. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. I'll talk to you later.